Too Many Men on the Mic, presented by Netfront LLC. Now here's Coach Drew and Coach Jared.
I love it. I got my hat on just for this episode. This is the NHL playoff episode. Never done this before, the maiden voyage, but I love that we're doing it because we've talked to great youth hockey organizations around the country. We've talked to parents, we've talked to moms, we've talked to coaches, but we have never just done, the two of us, what we like about the playoffs and what we're seeing, good things and bad, about the teams. I love it.
Yeah, my hat is representative of the Colorado Rockies, not the baseball team, but the original Colorado team, coached by, who was the first coach? Do you know?
No, I don't.
Don Cherry.
Oh, Don.
Rock'em Sock'em.
Did he wear his loud suits on the Rocky bench?
I think he sure did. But yeah, so what I think is really cool about this episode is it's ironic because we always tell parents, hey, your kid's not going to the NHL. But it's also these games, especially in the playoffs, are great coaching tools. They're great perspective for parents and players. And the hope is that when parents and even some players hear coaches say things like net front or net drive or tracking.
I think I've heard you say that a couple times.
Well, I think this episode we're going to get a chance to maybe break down some film and show excellent examples of what a forecheck, how it leads to a goal, or how you win a shift with an offensive zone faceoff, and the little things that happened. And most importantly, for you players out there, if you can't find time to watch a full game, watch a period. Pick a player. Some smart coach I know said, hey, pick a player you want to be like and watch how they play. So I'm excited for this, especially we're talking playoff hockey.
And you know what? We can't get into this. I think we need to have a very short segment called Stump Grant. And it is, we got to test his knowledge of these things. So Grant, get in here. We can't see you.
Well, and the beauty of this too is Grant gets to learn all the lingo as well. He gets to learn what scanning is and what tracking is.
Yeah. So what do you think scanning is, Grant?
If I'm scanning?
Yes, scanning. If you're on the ice and you're a hockey player and you're scanning the play, what do you think that is?
I'd say I'm scanning the play to get ready for what I'm going to do when the puck gets to me.
Well done, my friend. Nice job.
Kind of. How would you scan if you're on the ice? How would you physically scan? What would
With my eyes.
Okay.
I'm looking around, but you also have to be wary about what's going on around you at the same time.
Okay, so this is an athlete we're talking to.
Nice.
See, some of this is universal. Nice. What we call it is in order to scan, you have to shoulder check. Okay. So what do you think a shoulder check is?
You're shoulder checking a guy?
No.
You gotta be looking over your shoulder.
Just looking over.
Shoulder checking.
You're looking over both shoulders.
Yeah, especially if you're going into the corners and you're going to enter a puck battle and you're going one-on-one, so it's a 50-50 because if it's one-on-one, that means there's two guys and it's a 50-50 puck.
There's a guy behind you, and
it's why you shoulder check. So one, it's understanding, like you said, what's going on around you, what the play is like. If you're a forward in the offensive zone and you don't have the puck, you want to shoulder check and don't necessarily want to watch the puck. You want to see where there's some open ice and get to a quiet spot. These are all things that we can break down because parents are like, quiet spot, isn't that where I put my kid when they're pissing me off? The answer, that's true too.
Well, Grant, we will get into all these things. You will be a hockey expert by the time we're done. I have no doubt. But we're going to get into things like net front and forecheck and back check and gap control and breakouts and soft ice, soft areas of the ice, and speed and using your feet. So you can impress all your friends after the end of this episode.
Yeah, defend it with your feet, get it on their hands, use some leverage. All this stuff is is things that, and think about it, if you're a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 23-year-old, you might be like, oh, what the heck? What are they talking about?
It's true.
So how was your weekend, Grant? Tell us a little bit about what was going on in with our resident Seckman alumni expert here.
Did you say sex?
Seckman.
Your resident what?
The resident Seckman alumni expert.
I was actually in Columbia this weekend celebrating my brother's 21st birthday. So it was a fun time.
Did you go to Shakespeare's?
Did not go to Shakespeare's. Didn't make it there. There wasn't food. Let's just say it was not the top of the priority list this weekend.
So can you take your brother, or is your brother a beast and he puts you into a pretzel? How's that go down?
Oh no, I can take my brother. We actually didn't fight a lot as kids, but I think it was because it was known what would happen. So there was
an understanding.
There was an understanding of what would happen, and I'll credit my parents with why we didn't fight too much. But if there was, I'm undefeated. I'll just say that.
I mean, are you guys about the same size? Was he stealing your clothes and stuff when you guys were growing up? Because you guys 3 years apart?
I'm 2 years older than him. I've always been a little bigger than him. Now I'd say we're close to the same size. I'm a little thicker than him. He's a little more. He's more than me.
That's what happens when you get older. We all get thicker.
I'm not to toot my own horn. I'm not very thick, but I'm a little bulkier than him, I'll say.
You've been hitting the weight room.
Yes, he has too. But yes, he can steal my clothes, and that gets annoying.
Did you guys do any golfing this weekend, or was it just strictly hanging out with the boys and hitting the establishments?
Yeah, no golfing. We were hitting the establishments. It actually was my sister is born on the same day, just 2 years younger. So we made sure.
Parents are planning well.
Well, she was actually due in August. Hers was a little. She wanted to come out and see the world a little too early. So
that's really early. That's a long time early.
But it was a good weekend. It was fun.
Awesome.
Well, let's dig into the coverage, and I'm going to throw the first start and say I was sitting on my couch the other night watching what looked like a baseball score to me. It looked like a baseball game. It looked like something you'd see between two teams on a sunny afternoon day in June or July, but it was a hockey. It was a 9-6 hockey game. 9 goals. Think about that. That's pretty amazing that anybody can score 9 goals in the playoffs, which tells you just how good Colorado is. And there's lots of reasons that they're good. So I had to pull up some of my stat coverage, which I know Jared's got a whole load of as well. But they're ranked second in 5-on-5 shot attempt percentage, third in shot attempts off the rush. So I don't know. I think we've had this conversation recently with a couple of youth hockey teams that we're a part of. You got to shoot the puck, right?
Have to shoot the puck. And look, what was impressive about that game is Colorado was up, I believe it was 4-1 at the beginning of the second. With 2 minutes left in the second, they were down 5-4. And then before the second period ended, they were tied 5-5. So you're going to the third period, tied 5-5. Minnesota's feeling really good. I think Quinn Hughes had a goal and 2 assists at that point. So the Quinn Hughes versus Makar battle, I think it was +2 for Quinn Hughes. And then the third period happened. And it was
Nathan McKinnon shot.
Oh my God. And then how about Kadri with the game winner off the rush? Again, you find that opportunity, and we tell our kids you want to get tips north as quick as possible. You see that ice, you got the puck on your stick. Let's not hesitate. Let's get out of our defensive zone, get through the neutral zone, and as you're going to see right here on the screen, coming in wide, straight across, goal. I mean, look at that. Kadri comes in wide. Nice. You've got 31's deep in the zone, deep behind the defense. But again, we talk about getting wide. We talk about getting wide, and that's exactly what we just see here is, again here, Minnesota, zone entry, wide. Zone entry, F1, wide, F2, drive the net, little Vladimir Tarasenko for all you St. Louis fans there. What could have been?
That was Brett Burns.
Brett Burns, but look at that. Look at this play. Look at this play.
Look at that.
I mean, kind of Kucherov-esque, but again, getting Minnesota, zone entry, wide. F2, drive with net drive right to the net, makes a play. Now we've got low to high. It's Quinn Hughes. Yeah, he's not bad. But again, we're not just shooting into somebody's shin guards. We're making a move. We're doing a little head fake, coming back. I mean, I'm not expecting our high school players to be able to make that shot, but let's take a look and let's understand that sometimes your best play is to hold the puck. Sometimes your best play is to get the puck deep. Every situation is going to call for a different decision making, and that's the key here with these NHL players is they're processing at it's like they're like supercomputers on skates.
Yeah,
write that down. Supercomputers on skates. But what a game. I would say if you're a casual hockey fan, that's the type of game that you probably are excited to watch. Grant, talk to us here as you're becoming less and less of a casual hockey fan. But what did you feel about that game?
Well, I mean, I believe it was pretty late at night. I
didn't watch it.
I caught the first period. I think part of the second. And yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's a game that I think the people that don't love hockey really love. But I can't imagine. I think in certain sports, like you think of baseball, not so much, but really like hockey and soccer are the two sports I can think of where if there's too many goals, that's when people, the people that really love the sport almost there's question marks around it. Maybe that's not the pure sport they love. So I don't know if that's how you guys felt. I feel like though a 9-6 game can't make, I guess, the hockey purist too happy because that's not quite. Goals aren't that easy.
They kept the goal. They changed him. He's not starting game 2.
Right.
But they kept him in the whole time.
They kept him in for all 9 goals.
Well, Wedgwood gave up 6.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both big numbers.
Well, I think there was a couple empty netters on there.
Yeah, normally you'd be pulling a goalie with that kind of score.
I think both teams, but if you watch that game, the flow of the game was such that the goal there was little. I mean, obviously it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that there's little to no defense being played. But I would also make the argument that both these teams are highly skilled. And they were, at one point, Colorado's up 4-1. So Minnesota has a choice to make. What are we going to do? It's like, are we going to be able to come back in a 4-1 game against Colorado if we try to muck and grind? Probably not. So let's open it up and see what happens. There was a shorthanded goal where it was Foligno brothers breaking in on the shorthanded goal. They pressured McKinnon at the point. McKinnon coughs his puck up. It's 2-0 on a penalty kill. And they score to make it 5-4.
I love a brother line. That's fantastic. I would not want to play against
not the Foligno
brother.
Not the Foligno brother.
And definitely not the Foligno brother line.
But, at that point, if you're Minnesota, I think you've just got to say, hey, we're going to take the top off it. What difference if we're losing 4-1? It doesn't make any difference if we lose 10-1. So we might as well try to make it 4-4.
Grant, did you and your brother play a sport together, and were you guys on a brother line?
No, I was too old. I was just too old to play baseball or anything with him.
Okay.
No football?
No football. He didn't play. So that was tough. No, he just played baseball. So I was too old.
Okay. No one-on-one basketball in the backyard though?
Oh, we would play basketball. A lot of pool basketball against each other.
Oh, getting that the equilibrium, that balance, kind of playing with the wind and the waves there.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Well, I don't know what to expect in this next game. Is it going to be another run and gun shootout? Is it going to be a defensive battle? Something tells me it's going to be a lot tighter this next game.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you got 2 very potent offenses, so who knows?
Potent offenses that have, 5 out of Colorado's 6 defensemen all can score, are capable of scoring 20 goals in a season. So you've got guys from the blue line on Colorado that are absolutely going to lead and join the rush. On Minnesota, obviously, you have Quinn Hughes, Brock Faber. Those guys are no slouches either. It's going to, again, I go back to, I just feel that Colorado down the middle, you've got Nathan McKinnon, Landeskog, Kadri, and Brock Nelson as your centers. So it's like, what? Like, nobody has that center depth in the playoffs still.
Well, you just brought up a good point about D.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to pivot us over to the Flyers. The Flyers, break out your cheesesteak. They're back in the playoffs. But I thought this was an interesting statistic. Jamie Drysdale, I guess you get spot, has a skating speed of 22.98 miles per hour, second amongst defensemen to drive transition plays. And their whole key this playoff season so far is they lead all playoff teams in goals by defensemen. How great is that? How much easier is it to play hockey when your defenseman can score goals, right? You're not just relying on, your 3 or 4 lines of forwards and just good defensive play. And you got Rick Tocchet, who is always an aggressive forecheck guy, right? Although Carolina ran into, Philadelphia has run into Carolina.
Well, let's take a look real quick. You bring up Jamie Drysdale. I think he scored the first goal in the Pittsburgh series. Let's take a look at how he's joining the rush here, and just like give a little love to Jamie Drysdale. And we'll turn off the closed caption because we don't need to see that. But we've got a 0-0 game. It's game 1, second period, which much tighter series than the right there. I mean, if you he's coming in. All right, so at this point, we've got, look at that net front. I mean, Pittsburgh's in good position here, but you've got all 5 Pittsburgh players are down below the dots. When's the last time you ever saw that?
Right.
They've outmanned. They've got Philly outmanned. But look, comes in, joins the play.
And he was calling
for the puck. And this is so perfect example of why we talk to forwards not to get too deep in the zone.
No.
And this is some perspective for
your points uncovered.
Perspective for coaches and parents. You've got the F1 and F2 for Pittsburgh down below the dots. Look at all this time and space this defenseman has to come in. This is almost a slash play, but definitely, I would say this is in between a slash and a scissor. A scissor being a defenseman who's going to come down the wall, take the puck from the forward. A slash is really where that defenseman's slashing towards the net down the center in between the dots. But look at all this space that you've got in between, this forward. Let's call this guy F2 for reference point. And here's Jamie Drysdale. If we roll this back, Jamie Drysdale is not even in the picture frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Penguins
below the dots.
Yep. Below the dots. Backs turned. You got maybe a little bit of shoulder check and scanning here. There you go, Grant. That's a little scan. But watch where this guy's head goes right now. Boom, turn. His head is turned. He's watching the puck. Now, to be fair, this interference right here, that's your crease defenseman who's supposed to be, that's where the switch is supposed to happen.
Right.
So
you got 2D on one side.
You've got 2D on one side. So, F3 here, let's call him F3 for reference, or did I call him F2? Either way, he's an F. He's looking at the puck. Here comes Jamie Drysdale. Talk about Johnny on the spot. Not even a second. That puck is off of that puck's off.
Look at the Philly player right on the post, screaming the goalie.
Last minute of play in this period.
And now we're selling him. We're selling in Mellon game 1. This would have been in Mellon Arena or whatever they're calling it now. But think about that. You've got all 5, and when we talk to forwards all the time about don't get too deep in the zone. And that's, that's a offensive defenseman's like dream situation where you've got 5 opponents with their backs turned to you in the defensive zone, and you've got a good, call it 15 feet between you and the forward.
He had room to creep.
I mean,
just creep down.
Absolutely. So, well, we got to take a quick break here, and we got to pay a few bills. But we'll be back, talk a little bit more about some NHL playoff hockey, break down a few more clips for you kids at home and for you parents at home, and maybe we'll get a little bit more Q&A with Grant as we can start to do a little hockey 101 and decipher. So
I can't wait. Back. I want to dig into this whole brother relationship.
We'll be right back.
Summer's right around the corner, but Big Bear Tournaments is already thinking about the next hockey season. Registration is now open on their website for the 2026-2027 season. Spots are filling fast. Join them in new locations such as Savannah, Georgia, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Holland, Michigan. Looking to save on your entry fees? Take advantage of their multi-team, multi-club, and club-level discounts. They guarantee savings across the board for every team in your organization. Head over to BigBearTournaments.com today to claim your spots and be ready to hit the ice after the summer.
Real quick before we jump back in, if you're enjoying Too Many Men on the Mic, hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. It's a quick click for you, but it helps us grow the show and keep bringing you great hockey conversations. Like last week when we had the Hockey Moms on. That episode has over 500 views, and yet we don't have 500 subscribers yet. Math is undefeated, folks. You can also follow us on Instagram by scanning the QR code on the top right-hand corner of your screen. And be sure to download, follow, and rate the podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also go directly to our website, toomanymenonthemic.com. That's the number 2, where there are additional content, including drills, small area games, and other resources for coaches, parents, and players. Those small things from you help us keep delivering new guests, downloadable coaching content, and more from the rink. All right, back to the show.
We're back with the playoff edition of Too Many Men on the Mic. And we were talking about the Flyers and how they get their defensemen involved. Another fun statistic about the Flyers is 297 hits.
Broad Street Bullies Part 2.
Known for being particularly nasty. And they have maintained that, and a lot of that is a high-intensity forecheck. So, we talk about this as coaches, I feel like, a lot.
So is that through their first 8 games, or is that just for the first round?
No, this is fresh off the internet today stats.
So in 8 games, they're roughly, they're almost 35 hits a game. 35 hits a game. Math's undefeated, folks.
Yeah.
I think they're for half a second.
Yeah, and so a Rick Tocchet team has always been known as a gritty, forechecking kind of team, but this is just
he has the most Gordie Howe hat tricks of all time.
Yes.
There's a stat for you.
His nose might change direction more than Rod Brittenmore's. I don't know. It might be a contest between those two. Different ways.
Rod the Bods is definitely crooked for sure.
But I feel like we talk about this a lot as coaches, especially with kids that are getting into playing across age groups. In high school, for example, there is a physical component to the game. These teams are using that. They're taking it to their advantage, and it is having an impact. It's been 7 years, I think, since the Flyers have been, well, maybe it hasn't been that long. It's been a minute since the Flyers have been in the playoffs. And what are they doing to help their odds? They're getting their defensemen involved. They're also strong on the forecheck. And lots of hits. Nobody likes to get it, right? So this is a great reminder for our listeners out there, certainly the players. If you aren't watching the game and seeing it for yourself, and you're listening to our podcast, don't forget to use your body. Separate the player from the puck. It works.
Yeah, for kids, obviously at home, this isn't the 1970s version of using your body. You lead with your stick. you're following through, head up, making sure that you're making contact with shoulder to shoulder. Which, if you watch the playoffs and you watch Philadelphia and Montreal, I mean, you want to talk about some stats with Montreal. How about winning a Game 7 overtime game 2-1 with 9 total shots? If you have 9 total shots and you win the game, that tells me 2 things. One, your goalie stood on his head, or your defense is blocking a lot of shots, and you're playing a physical brand of hockey that is discouraging your opponent from getting down to that ugly, dirty, gritty area in front of the net. And as Philadelphia and Montreal have shown, as underdogs in the first round, both of them, they have to bring a little bit of that jam, as we like to call it, a little bit of jam. And I would say, it's been clean. I think for the most part, aside from Charlie McAvoy, which we can get into that play later.
I think jam is a Walt Kachuk word, isn't it?
Big Walt. He's
Big
probably
Walt. He likes to talk about his kids' jam.
Yeah, he gets the jam. He gets jam at Obi Clark's too. No free ads. No free ads.
Flyers made the playoffs in 2020. They won the first round series there, and also we're not even 10 minutes in. And the Wild and Avalanche are tied at 1, not even 10 minutes into the game.
For those of you, this is a Tuesday recording, so when you see this on Thursday, don't watch the game. Just wait for us.
Well, you were just talking about the Canadians, so let's pivot over to them.
Let's pull up a little bit of the Canadians while you're talking here. Let's pull a little screen share up.
So their formula has been a little bit of scoring by committee. So they're not relying on one line. They're distributing the puck amongst the. As a coach, oh my gosh, that's what you want, right? All 4 lines are just rolling. Everybody's contributing to the cause, but their approach has been scoring by committee.
Well, I looked at that series, and both teams, it was tight checking. 5-on-5, and you meant I'm glad you mentioned scoring by committee. Their top line of Cole Caulfield, Slafkowski, and I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on.
Yeah.
He's their captain.
Oh,
Suzuki. They were until Suzuki scored. I think they were 0 goals 5-on-5. Slafkowski had a hat trick. It was all power play.
Yeah.
Cole Caulfield scored a power play goal in Game 6, which they lost, and then Suzuki scored we just saw it right there. Suzuki scored the first goal. But other than that, you're absolutely right. And the other thing that was interesting about this team is Game 6, Game 7. Who'd they bring back? Brendan Gallagher.
Oh,
which is I would never say this about. I don't like saying that you're a poor man's somebody, but he's like a Marchand for Montreal. Not quite as skilled, but has no problem, driving the net. Kind of like Corey Perry without that size. And just ironically, this is the Corey Perry series. Corey Perry was on Montreal when they lost to Tampa with the Stanley Cup Finals, and now he's back on Tampa as they've lost to Montreal.
Well, and guess who has more hits than the Philadelphia Flyers? Only 2 more hits. The Montreal Canadiens, 299 hits through 7 games. Josh Anderson leading the charge.
Well, and I don't think you want to mention Josh Anderson's name down in Tampa, Florida right now.
Oh, no.
He has been a I don't even call Josh Anderson a pest. I say Brendan Gallagher's more of a pest. Josh Anderson's just a force of nature right now. Big player, willing to go, hard, stands up for his teammates. Slafkowski took that hit in, I think it was Game 5, that open ice hit, which was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But Anderson was there to stick up for him. And obviously earlier in the series, I think Tampa was complaining about Anderson. So,
and not a surprise, a team that leads the NHL in playoffs. Guess what their zone entry style is? It's dump and chase. It's not controlled. Yeah. We're just going to chip the puck in. We're going to get it below the dots. We're going to get it maybe behind the net, certainly below the goal line. And then we're just going to come in and we're just going to hit you. Yeah, and that has been what's working for them.
So dump and chase, I think, works in when you have guys. It's like I kind of put it. It's like if you're a gunner on the kickoff, All right. So Brett Hull was famous for this. He's like, you can dump it all you want. I'm never going to chase it.
Right.
But somebody else is going to go chase it. And so to be that player and that defenseman who's willing to go back, there's the OT winner right there. What a goal by Newhook. Only guy on their team that's got a Stanley Cup, by the way. He won it with Colorado.
Yep.
Let's watch this goal really quick. Again, this is a great play for kids at home. Sometimes the great, good save by. They lost the puck. Look at that hand-eye coordination.
Hand-eye coordination, man.
It literally, we're at the best play. Watch this whole play erupt here. Get down low, deep. There's a little dump and chase action. Counter attack by Tampa. This is back in the third period. There.
Yeah.
So did you see? Yeah. Did you see what happened before that though? 4 cross checks to the back of the neck while he's on the ice. Deneau, another guy who's got a new lease on life. Deneau, who was a former Canadian, then went to LA, and now is back in Montreal. Just great. Still don't understand how that didn't go in. Yeah. But yeah, unbelievable game. But
different than the Colorado, speed and controlled zone entry. They're gonna get a shot quick to the net because they're using their feet just fast. Montreal, I'm sure they have fast guys on the team, but they have committed themselves to an approach. And it's just, we're going to chip the puck in and we're just going to separate the man from the puck. And we're going to take our chances in front of the net. So I'm waiting for you to say it. You can't score a goal without what?
You can't spell goal without net front.
Yeah.
Can't spell goal without net front. And if you look at where, and it would be great to maybe come back after the break. And I'm sure somebody's done this, but they've done a composite of where all the goals have been scored.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that the density of goals, the density of goals are going to be within that, the home plate, or what we like to call the house, inside the dots.
I think you should call it the DOG.
The DOG. Well, even Drysdale's goal, when he finally got it on a stick, look how close that was inside the circles for a defenseman. But, dump and chase works. I like the teams that will recognize that, hey, there's a little bit of a gap right now in the line that's out there versus the line. So if you've got your third line in the NHL going up against the first line or the first D pair, you're out there, you dump that puck in. Even if you don't get it, you provide an opportunity to send a message to that defenseman and make that defenseman make a play with a strong forecheck. And we're going to talk about that when we talk about the game-winning goal from last night's overtime game between Philly and Ottawa after the break. You can set up so much from a hard forecheck. Even if you don't get possession of the puck right away, you create an urgency or, in some instances, a panic, which even with NHL players, they're not immune to the panic. So as a young youth hockey player, dumping and chasing the puck, even in a situational where I like dumping and chasing for the first half of the game, get lull the other team into to thinking that they're going to see a dump and chase, and then halfway through the second period,
change your tactic.
All of a sudden, we're going to carry the puck because that defenseman's backing off because he wants to get a jump on going to retrieve the puck, and that's what dump and chase does so well. If you're committed to it, you're going to get that defenseman to cheat. And next thing you know, he's going to cheat. And, oh, wait a second. Now we've got Suzuki out here who doesn't have to dump and chase. Or we've got a situation where now I can drive the dot and pull up and create time and space and allow for more net drive. And we're going to show some examples of that maybe in our third period here.
Well, I feel like before we go to break, we got to at least say something about the Buffalo Sabres. Not only are they known for chicken wings, they're known for playoff hockey. And to build on your net.
Grudgingly, I will give them an applause.
Oh, come on.
Oh. Coach is a little salty about the Sabres, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
Well, just a fun fact about the Buffalo Sabres. They have a player on their team, Jason Zucker, who is cited as the premier net front presence for Buffalo. Known for his ability to screen goals and capitalize on rebounds. All the stuff that we talk to our kids about, right? Screen the goalie, right? Get some rebounds, get some dirty goals. So he is helping Buffalo get there. He actually had 21 goals over the last 2 seasons in a net front position. Just being in front of the net, probably taking slashes from defensemen on the back of his legs.
Oh, 100% he's taking slashes.
Probably getting, he's probably got stick marks all over his backside. But the guy's delivering, being right in front of the net.
You know, he's a guy that came up with Minnesota, spent some time playing with a guy named Sidney Crosby. And, you know, as you look at this, you know, there was a great line by a Hall of Fame hockey player. His name is Phil Esposito. Phil Esposito was known as the guy who played with Bobby Orr. He also was scoring 70 goals back in the 70s. And tips, scrums in front of the net, pucks going off of his butt, pucks going off of his head. And you know what he would say? They don't count how pretty, they count how many. And that's the key. You know, Jason Zucker is the epitome right now of net front. And we're going to see a few goals here that from Jason Zucker. And I think you're going to see a theme.
Look at him. Look at him. He's right in front of the goal.
You're going to see a theme here as we share our screen on how Jason Zucker, we can go through the Jason Zucker highlight show of goals.
Look at him. He's literally like the goalie can smell it.
Let's pull some up here.
Just causing problems in front of the net.
Oh, check out the retro Buffalo unis there.
Those are nice.
I actually do like these Buffalo unis. You know, back when Pierre Turgeon. Doing his Joe Pavelski interpretation. Joe Pavelski tip in front of the net.
Oh, that was nice.
We should just do a whole episode one time on Joe Pavelski. Oh, right there.
Oh, he's fantastic.
I mean, kids at home, look at where he is on every single one of these goals. And you're gonna look, yeah, he takes a beating. Oh, right there. Back up top. Oh, right there in front.
Yeah, right in front. Right behind the defenseman, right in front of the goal.
Taking the eyes away. It doesn't hurt when you've got a clapper coming from Rasmus Dahlin or Tuck either.
Yeah.
This is against Anaheim. By the way, Anaheim, a team that we've got to talk about at some point. I'm surprised they didn't tell him to just dump it in.
Oh, yeah.
Nice little goal there.
That's an unusual breakaway.
Not the fleetest of foot, for sure.
Nah.
But here we go. Look who's down in front of the net.
He's
Look
right
who's right in front of the net. Boom.
Again.
Goal.
He just ties up the goalie.
Find it. Just find it. I mean, again, okay, we can stop this one. We don't need to see this one.
Oh. Can't put not against the Red Wings.
Well, Zucker's another one of those players who I would have loved the Wings to have gotten. Same with Dylan Cousins, both of them who are on now. We're both now on Buffalo. Didn't they get Bowen Byram too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another guy wouldn't be terrible in a winged wheel. Maybe they'd be in the playoffs with instead of Buffalo had those. But I digress. But I mean, it's clear. Net front, net drive, get to the dirty areas, go to the front of the net. You're going to score goals. Scoring goals is fun. That's just, it's just hockey's more fun the better you get at it. And scoring goals is a byproduct of getting better at hockey.
Well, I want to talk about feet and back to speed. And then, and that ties right into the Anaheim Ducks. But I think we got to do an announcement here, don't we? We got to pay a bill.
We got tease me a little bit more about Anaheim. I want a little bit of stat jelly here for Anaheim.
Yeah. So
last minute of play in this period.
There you go.
Young stars, and Anaheim's got a lot. Boy, Bennett or Seneca. He is the guy.
Bennett Seneca.
Yeah,
Bennett
Seneca. Yeah.
Not to be confused with Sam Bennett.
I know, right? It's like,
Bennett Seneca.
It's anyway. He is a player I cannot take my eye off of. But Anaheim also has Leo Carlson and Cutter Gauthier, 23.39 miles per hour. Whew. You'll love this. Beat defenders wide. The key reason for the surprising playoff run. So you got speed, and you got taking the puck wide, and you've got youth, and that combination. Boy, if you're a defenseman, weren't we just working on this at practice last week, where we were saying to the forwards, just use your feet. you have the advantage against the defenseman. They can't skate as fast as you can going backwards.
Well, I will say this about Anaheim. Game 1 against Vegas, Vegas, hey, welcome to the playoffs, Mitch Marner. Sorry, Toronto. I'm sure they're super happy about how Mitchie's playing in the last 2 or 3 games. But Anaheim, in a normal scenario, wins that game. And I want to talk about 2 plays when we come back from the break specifically that talk about maybe some of the youth about Anaheim.
Yeah.
And why this is going to be whether win or lose this series, I think this team is going to the Stanley Cup Finals for the next 2 years from the Western Conference.
2 quick stats before we go to commercial break. Their offensive zone time this playoff is over 40%. So think about that.
They own it. It's crazy.
They own it. 158 speed bursts of over 20 miles an hour.
Who was their first round opponent, by the way?
Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers.
I think do we have Connor here? Oh, yeah, we've got Connor. See, Connor's here because he's not in the playoffs anymore.
I just love that somebody is tracking 158 speed bursts over 20 miles an hour. But think about that. If you're a player out there and you're listening, this is the example. These players are using their feet. They're taking the puck wide. And guess what they get? They get over 40% offensive zone time. So
against arguably the 2 best offensive players in the world right now, and against a team that has been in the Stanley Cup Finals the last 2 years and has thrived on offensive zone and just owning that statistic. I'm telling you, this team is going to the Stanley Cup Finals in the next 2 years. They are going to represent the Western Conference. And we've got more to talk about.
I think you're right. I think you're onto something there.
All right, we'll be back here in a minute after we pay a bill. Back to Too Many Men on the Mic. Too Many Men on the Mic, where we were talking about the wonderfully uniformed Anaheim Ducks, was brought to you by 5B Designs. And if you want to have uniforms that are as stylish as Anaheim's, St. Louis hockey families and business leaders, you need custom gear that stands out and stands for something. You got to meet 5B Designs. Founded by Shannon Brahini, a proud St. Louis mom and entrepreneur, 5B Designs is a woman-owned small business that brings purpose to custom apparel. Whether you're suiting up your youth or high school hockey team or leveling up your company's branded swag, 5B delivers top-notch quality with a personal touch that'll even make Nate Salzman look good, much better than his brother Grant. If you need a team store, no problem. Corporate polos or event giveaways, they've got you covered. 5B makes it easy with fast turnaround, flexible service, and designs your players or employees will love to wear. Check them out at stores.inksoft.com/5B Designs. That's the word 5. And if you are watching on your YouTube feed, go ahead and scan the QR code in the top right-hand corner of your screen, and you can see what great gear and great service looks like. Now, so we're back here and talking about the Anaheim Ducks. I still want to call them Mighty Ducks every single time I say them, but the Anaheim Ducks. And again, my pick, maybe 2, maybe 3 years, they're my pick for the Western Conference representative in the Stanley Cup Finals. But, looking at that game last night, and obviously this will be the game that was Monday night if you're listening to us on Thursday, so it's 4 nights ago, right? Math's undefeated. Anaheim had every opportunity to win that game. And I think that a couple of things were at play. One, you had the moment. You're in the second round. You've got some young players who have to kind of learn, even professional hockey players who are the best in the world at what they do. I think sometimes they overthink the game or they try to get too cute. And I want to share real quick. I want to share a clip. Jackson Lacombe, who, by the way, is having a phenomenal.
He's like the breakout defenseman of this playoff.
Phenomenal. But we talk about, unselfish play. This is almost unselfish to a fault, where he has a tap-in goal, and right here, Leo Carlson makes this great play, and he passes it across. Look at that spinorama, and then Shoot the puck. Shoot the puck. Oh, shoot the puck. But again, how can you, as a parent, get on your kid if you see them make a play where it's like, oh my gosh? Because, I mean, this is the players at the highest level, and he's a great teammate, and he's saying, I mean, look, if he completes the pass, it's a goal there either way. But if he takes the shot, and then obviously in that game, Anaheim has their feathers all ruffled. See what I did there? The Ducks have their feathers all ruffled.
You called out your call out.
I'm a dad. See what I did there? But we talk about this icing call. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say that I love what refs do. But I'm going to come back and I'm going to say that sometimes as a player, we always tell our players to do what? Play to the what?
Play till the end.
Play to the whistle.
Oh, play.
There's no whistle on this play. And I don't even think I saw a linesman with his arm. In fact, the linesman makes the – so if you're Anaheim and you're complaining that Eichel, this should have been an icing. And look, I get it. We're here at the dot. But look, the linesman has waved off the icing, and there's a good 15 feet between Eichel and the puck. Mm-hmm. So Anaheim, again, you can complain all you want, but don't let Dorofeev walk in front of your net, and don't let Barbashev backdoor you. Look at this. These guys are – there's 4 Ducks in the picture here and 2 Knights. There's 4 Ducks and 2 Knights in the picture. So even if this icing's waved off, okay, and I'm going to get – it drives me nuts when players at the youth level make assumptions, they stop skating. You hear no whistle, and the linesman waves it off. The goal has not been scored yet. So let's watch this to completion, and we can, McGruber tape it or whatever you want, But this puck it's still not in a danger zone. It's up the boards off in the corner. So tough call, but my thing here, my soapbox that I want to say to players and parents alike, don't get upset with your kid if they miss a net or they make a play that's not the right play, because as you just saw, Jackson Lacombe, who's going to be cashing checks for the next 5 to 10 years. He's an unbelievable hockey player. Made a play that if he could go back in time, would have done something different.
I'm going to see how long he's under contract.
I don't know how long this guy's under contract. And if you want to get on your players for something, it's stopping skating before whistle's blown. Because I'm sorry, the icing getting waved off did not lead to the goal. What led to the goal is you had 4 Ducks in the zone versus 2 Golden Knights, or 2 Knights, or I don't know. We had 2 teams that have changed their names, but not changed their names. Drives me nuts. Are you the Golden Knights or not? Are you the Mighty Ducks or not? But anyways, I digress.
It sounds like a joke. You have 4 Ducks and 2 Knights that went into a bar together.
Well, they went into the corner and the puck came out, and Dorofeev got it. And again, nobody covered it. It was still a 4-on-3 situation there, down low below the dots. And Barbashev sneaks in backdoor. Dorofeev made talk about a guy who's also going to be cashing checks for the next.
He's locked up through 2031, $9 million a year.
Jackson Lacombe. I mean, worth every penny too. Yeah. But what I think is important for parents and players to see, and coaches too, because coaches get, we're not always even keel on the bench. Jackson Lacombe's going to have probably 10 other plays in this series that he's going to make that are going to make a positive impact. So game 1, I think this series is going 7. I really do. I think that Anaheim's speed and their ability to just on the rush in that offensive zone time. The next time they're going to have an opportunity where Jackson Lacombe's going to join the play like a Jamie Drysdale, and he's going to shoot that puck. The next time they're going to skate all the way down, maybe take a penalty because icing won't get waved off, but they're going to check that guy in the corner. But again, the points I want to make here is young team, professional hockey players, not making perfect plays. Let's not expect perfect plays from our youth amateur hockey players either. Let's use these moments to teach them so that they can process. I think at that point, Lacombe's just processing so quickly. He's looking up. He sees a teammate wide in front. He's like, I shouldn't be down here anyways. I'm a defenseman. Let me just get it to the guy.
He's 25 years old. Seneca is 20. Carlson's 21. Gautier's 22. I mean, this is a team of young horses.
Well,
That's
Jackson,
exciting to watch.
Jackson Lacombe, if I'm not mistaken, University of Minnesota, college kid. So he's coming to the league, 4-year player in college. So you're getting, and it's like, I love when these college kids, they exit their season and they get signed as free agents by the teams that draft them, like Porter Martone.
Yeah.
Another guy that we haven't even mentioned, starting to kind of feel a little bit of the fatigue of the NHL playoff hockey.
Well, yeah. I mean, he had a really good start in that first series against Pittsburgh, but it's a slog, and now you're in the second round, and you drew Carolina, which is like Colorado, very fast team, lots of offensive ozone time. You got your hands full playing against Carolina.
So I've said this so often about Carolina. When you watch them, it's like they have 6 guys on the ice every play.
Yeah.
And there is no coasting. There's no water skiing with that team. You want to talk about a team that forechecks every zone. Every single zone. I know the other day, he's laughing because I told the kid the other day, you're water skiing out there. And he looked at me like,
and
what?
He looked at you and he goes, Coach, what's water skiing?
And I'm like, it's like when you're coasting. Like you're coasting behind somebody. You're not,
But I loved it. It was like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1,000. Coach, what's water skiing?
Well, the best part of that conversation was I had praised his twin brother, and he came out and he's like, okay, you gave him love, so now what do I have to do? Because I hate hearing him get praise.
Right.
But, you look at that team, and, we've always – I mean, you talk about a team that's always been a bridesmaid.
No.
It's like Edmonton the last couple of years has been the maid of honor, and then – Carolina's been a bridesmaid. They don't even get to the finals. They've been, I think they've lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think three or four years in a row. I think this year the road's set up for them.
Well, and I'm just looking at a stat. William Carrier, I remember him from before his time.
He was in Vegas.
He was in Vegas. Had a massive 12-hit performance in the last game against the Flyers.
Just
bringing the grittiness, right? I don't know how else to say it.
Well, it's gritty. I mean, if we talk about that team led by their captain, Stahl, and you've got guys like Aho, everybody on that team
is fast.
They're fast. They I want to show
and you got Stankoven, who's not the biggest guy, but is just making plays. I mean, he's reminding Dallas why he was so good in Dallas, and they made their deal for Rantanen, but look at this guy. He's blossoming with Carolina and is one of their leading contributors.
Well, if I'm Philadelphia, I'm a little disheartened because I think Philadelphia played a phenomenal game 2. Yeah. Perfect game 2 for a road underdog, and couldn't close the deal out. Taylor Hall rejuvenated in Philly.
Oh yeah, he looks good. He looks like he's decided to get re-engaged.
Well, he made a comment, and I think this is a cool comment. Well, let's watch a little bit of this overtime period. He made the comment, and I think Rob Brindamore, loved him for it. He's like, I wish I would have played for Carolina 5 years earlier because it's been my style of game. Up and down the ice, driving to the dirty, hard areas. But what I loved about Carolina and the goal, and we might not see it on these highlights because you've got to kind of watch, like you just right there, you got to see Taylor Hall's, goal here. Let's run that back a little bit.
How about Blake too?
Yeah. So what you don't see before this play, and I'm going to pause it here. What you don't see before this play is 2 progressions before this play. Puck got dumped in. One of them, Carolina was making a change, so they only had one guy forechecking. And the Philly player just rimmed it around without looking, without seeing that, oh my gosh, I've got so much ice to work with here. Just rims it around.
Panic.
And then what happens is that gets to the neutral zone. Philly player has his back turned to the bench, and you've got 2 Carolina players coming straight off the bench that forecheck the neutral zone, turn the puck over. That happened twice in a row and led directly to this sequence here. And then when you watch this sequence, you've got 2-8s carrying it in the zone, leaves it for Hall. Now watch what Hall does. Hall, he's the puck carrier here, right here. Watch this sequence here. And look at what you've got here. This is 5 Philly, 5 Flyers.
Yeah, been great.
Look at where all their heads are.
Yeah.
Watch this. Watch this play out. He walks all the way in. We talked about Philly being skating. Physical. Everyone's coasting.
Everybody's coasting. Yeah.
Nobody put a stick on puck. Nobody put a body on him. Lets him walk right in. Now you've backed that defense up to the front porch of the goalie. They're backed up to the front porch of the goalie, and now you've got chaos, which I love. Look at that. Hall finally loses his footing, gets up with his stick on the ice. We've got the blender there, and boom, goal. What can't you score a goal without? You can't score a goal without net front. And that doesn't get more net front than that. But that whole process there, Philly did nothing to, one, box that person out, and then once they were there, clear them out.
Nobody was moving their feet. I mean, you can just watch that play, and they're all. They look like statues. He just pushes him down. It's like pushing furniture.
It's like he was on wheels.
Look at that.
And that puck again. You're in the goalie's front. They're in the goalie's front porch. The puck bounces off. I mean, just unbelievable. But I'm a Philly fan. It's like, why is Taylor Hall allowed to push the defense back?
Oh, yeah.
And push them all the way back? And even though he doesn't score off the initial shot, you've got so much leverage going downhill in front of that goaltender. Now all of a sudden it's panic mode, and he kept his head. Former first overall pick, former MVP, makes an MVP play there in overtime and gives a 2-0. And that 2-0 lead, that series, and I could be wrong. We could be talking about this next week in a Game 7, but that series feels over.
Yeah, the only team I feel like we haven't really touched on, it's the Golden Knights, the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't know. They're not the most exciting team for me to watch. Now, I do like Jack. I do like Mitch Marner, and Mitch Marner shows up in big games. I mean, he was one of their big players in
for Vegas.
For Vegas.
Not for Toronto.
Not for Toronto. Correct.
Wah, wah.
Yes. But I don't know. Do you like Vegas? Do you like what do you think they're doing good in their game?
It's interesting. When they won their cup, they really didn't have a goaltender that I thought was, of the caliber to win a cup. When they lost, the year they lost to Washington, I think they had Fleury, who was definitely cup caliber. And then when they won, they had he's still there. It wasn't
Lyon, wasn't it Alex Lyon?
No, it wasn't Alex.
Logan Thompson.
No, it wasn't Logan Thompson.
They've had a couple.
Hang on, you know what? We're going back and forth here.
The one that I did, the player I do enjoy watching on Vegas is Keegan Colasar.
Oh yeah, I can't.
Absolutely.
Aiden Hill. Won. Aiden
right.
Hill again.
Yes.
But now they've got Carter Hart, the much maligned Carter Hart. We're not going to get into that, but he is a top talent goaltender.
Oh yeah,
top talent goaltender. Yeah. So he probably hasn't. I thought he played his best game last night of the playoffs so far.
Well, Keegan Colasar got 241 hits. Well, no, Vegas had 241 hits. He is third postseason hits lead. Keegan Colasar. Just showing yet again that you got to have players that can separate players from the puck.
Well, and look, I love watching Eichel, Dorofeev, and Barbashev. Like that right now to me, so much in the playoffs, Montreal is a perfect testament to this. You have these high-flying players that aren't scoring 5-on-5, and then you go to Vegas, you've got 3 performers, you've got 2 heavy hitters in Eichel and Barbashev, and you got this Dorofeev kid who in the last 2 years has just lit it up, and they've got something cooking. And then, when your second line, you can go down and you can have your second line be Marner, Stone, and I think Riley Smith. And then they bring back William Karlsson, who was on long-term IR the entire season.
So who do you think is uglier, Mike Ricci or Mark Stone?
I'll say this: nobody celebrates scoring a goal harder than Stone.
He does.
Stone
he gets very excited.
He loves scoring
like
goals.
that.
I mean, he's like, if you ever watch a KHL game, whenever somebody scores in the KHL, you don't know who scores because everybody's out there windmilling on the ice and just like selling hard. He's like a kid. He would fit in perfectly in the KHL. He's a kid. I like Vegas. I think they're going to get past Anaheim for the reasons we talked about when we were showing those Anaheim clips. I think Anaheim is, a young team that's going to learn how to they've already learned how to win the playoffs. You beat the reigning Western Conference champion.
Yeah.
Full stop. They're going to learn how to advance because it does change every round. It gets harder and harder. This ain't the NBA, Grant. It gets harder and harder each round.
Whoa. That's not
a couple things to say about that, I think.
So, yeah, it gets harder. Once they took hand checking out of the NBA, I stopped watching. That was like back before you were born, 1999, I think. So,
right now.
Hey, what?
The Pistons are up right now.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out Detroit Pistons, who are playing. There's some playoff games going on at Little Caesars Arena. They're just not on the ice.
Well, just a quick stat for you that the Vegas Golden Knights have 26 goals, right behind Minnesota with 29, and Anaheim with 27. Believe it or not, they have more goals than Colorado through the playoffs. That's pretty amazing when you think about it. So they definitely can put the puck in the net.
Yeah, I think even after game 1, they've got more goals than Colorado. Colorado just hung 9.
I know, that's the thing. It's like how
Colorado swept LA in like 4.
Yeah,
so slow down.
It helps when you only play 4 games.
Yeah, that's true. So, well, I think we want to end the show with a little bit of drill draw. You and I have coaches on here all the time, and we're always talking to the coaches about bringing up drills. But you and I are coaches.
We need to write a drill draw song. I feel like this needs to be a segment with its own. It is a segment, but it needs its own song.
Drill draw.
Yeah, you gotta work on that.
Well, we were rehearsing after this. Maybe we can play a little, figure out a little ditty.
Go.
Oh yeah, Grant, we've got a gig this Friday. You gonna be there? No.
Oh. We'll see.
No, I guarantee you, we're not gonna see.
He's got to wash his hair Friday night.
Yeah, he's got. For those of you watching at home, I'm not doing the loser thing. We have an AI camera that's how you make it go in and go out. So we have this awesome green screen. Yeah.
What do you mean? That's real behind you. That's what's there.
That is. If I reach back, I can pull. Let me pull that helmet off. Let me pull that helmet off the show.
Wow.
For those of you at home, that was my college helmet. Cooper SK2000, still the best helmet in the history of hockey.
I love that you know the model number.
Mario Lemieux, baby. Mario Lemieux. You could two-tone it too. It was awesome. All right. Let's draw a drill. Let's draw up a drill for you guys. And for those of you listening on Spotify, go to our website, toomanymenonthemic.com. That's the number 2. And you can download every type of drill out there from the minds of USA hockey directors and directors of hockey, youth hockey organizations across the country. But tonight we're going to have a drill that Coach and I are gonna share with y'all. So what do we want to do?
Oh gosh, I'm a big fan of the one where we put the puck at the middle. We've got a 2-on-2. We've got the nets out in the neutral zone, and then we start with the 2-on-2 with the players kind of on either side of the goal. But then we progress it, and then we make them skate further and further to the puck. So it almost becomes like a sprint to the puck right out in the middle. So we definitely need a puck. I would say we need to start this drill with the puck literally right at center ice.
So this is definitely a drill that takes on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we start the drill there. Let's get our nets.
Let's get our nets out.
Let's get our nets. It's almost like a gauntlet, like the Too Many Men gauntlet or something along those lines. Because everybody's involved, not just the players who are in the drill battling. But what you have to do is, in order to, before you can take a shot and score, you've got to play the puck to one of your teammates who's lined up on the side. So let's set the stage here. Let's do our.
Yeah, everybody's an active participant. So if you're not in the 2-on-2, you've got dark on one side, you've got light on the other side, and think of it as your natural boundary of players. Right?
We play inside the dots too.
Play inside the dots. And so the player's job on either side is to receive a pass if they get it from one of their teammates, give it back to one of their players so that they can go in and score a goal.
So in this, you're basically starting with your players down below the blue line, behind their own goal. And we'll get the red team set up here first. And then we'll change it over to the blue team. And we'll do.
Yeah, it's starting to look like a Kirkwood drill. There's a lot of red out there.
Yeah, I know. Well, it shows up best on camera. If I did white, you wouldn't be able to see it on the ice.
True.
We can change the color. By the way, this is being brought to you by Drift Hockey. Brian Dolan, great friend of the show, has created this new platform that combines all the great things about hockey technology: drill and small area game drops, roster communication, film sharing, and a whole lot more. We're having a great conversation with Brian next week, so we're hopeful and excited to share more of Drift Hockey, and he's now releasing it in app form. So for all your kids, they don't have to go home and log into an ancient laptop or desktop. They can get your communication from film study to scheduling to drill and small area game breakdowns right on their phone.
Yep.
More about Drift Hockey in the coming weeks, but just want to share that with everybody out there.
Take your hockey with you.
That's right. Take your hockey. All right. No free slogans. All right. So here's how we start this game. Puck at the center ice dot. Let's get a coach in here. A couple coaches. I think I actually got into this drill last week because I'm crazy. Put coaches here on either side. It's kind of like a Thunderdome. It's kind of like it's
like a modified thing.
It's kind of like a gauntlet. I mean, we've got to come up with a name with it. Maybe the Too Many Men, run the gauntlet. But anyways, how this starts is on the whistle. Let's change our colors. On the whistle, players from both sides are skating to battle to get control of this puck. And then we've got the folks coming from the opposite side, the red players, skating to the middle. So right off the bat, you've got a concept that I absolutely love. So when players come off the bench on their shift, on a shift change, the first thing I always say to them is, I want you to be what? I want you to be first on puck. And so this game simulates that concept right off the bat. Whistle's blown, coach blows the whistle. You've got 4 players, 2 from each side, skating in the middle to try to be first on puck and gain control. Why do you want to be first on puck? Well, here's why. If you get control of the puck, you can score.
Yeah, you got to pass to one of your teammates.
You got to pass to one of your teammates who's positioned on the side. Let's just say the blue team gets the puck first. So now all of a sudden, blue team in a small area a very confined space, almost like being in front of the net, gets control of this puck. They need to make a pass to one of their teammates who's on the side here on this like fence. So they pass, and then if I'm one of the other players, let's say I'm P2 or F2, I'm driving to the net looking for a pass from one of my teammates who's in the drill, just not in the ice in the play, and we're trying to score in front of that net. If you're the red team and you're not first down puck, is the play over? No. You lose a battle, start a battle. And one of the things that we do is, as this game progresses, we move these players back.
And I got to say, I think that's the coolest part of the drill.
Yeah, we can move them back.
Is you get, suddenly you've got more and more ramp, and watching the kids get more dialed into this drill as you move the kids back on each side. So, when you started, you were right next to the net. The puck didn't seem so far away.
Yeah.
But then as the game goes on and as the drill progresses, now you're almost, you're down in your own defensive zone dots, even a little bit below the dots. And so you really have to sprint and take off to be first on puck. And I feel like the competition gets amped up the further the kids move back.
It's a sneaky bag skate too.
It is a sneaky bag.
It's a sneaky bag skate.
Yeah.
So we like this drill because, one, it is the first concept is you want to be first on puck. So we're trying to build a culture of your first. You come off the bench and you start your shift. You want to race to the puck, be first on puck. The second piece of that, though, is if you lose that battle, the other piece to this culture and the environment that we're trying to create is, okay, you've lost a battle. What are you going to do to get that puck back? Now you got to go start another battle. And you've got a lot. I mean, we run this drill at the end of practice sometimes, and that ice is like glacier chunks. And it only takes about 7 to 10 minutes of doing this drill, and the kids love it.
Oh, yeah. This is a drill where the kids at the end are going, one more. Can I do one more? Run one more time. I want to try it again.
Well, the great thing too is you start getting kids who are in the opposite colors calling each other out. Okay, you go. So the compete level, and then you have a level of support. You're wanting to use this flank supports. We have built-in flank support. You can't just go score. You've got to make a pass, and then you've got to move your feet. And we want you to get to the front of the net on two different levels. You want to get into the, take the goalie's eyes away, and then maybe you get off to the side, or maybe you're up here in the bumper area, or in that high slot area. It's creating different levels in a small area, almost a phone booth. I mean, we would call this the Too Many Men phone booth, or race to the. I mean, we've got to come up with a cool name for this. Grant, get in here. What do you think this? As a non-hockey guy, how would you name this drill? First of all, would you be first to puck every time?
Oh yeah. If I could skate.
He's coming out. We got to get you out. Like, if you come out, you're doing this game.
I kind of like Gauntlet. Like, I know that's the name you coined, but I think that's because it is a gauntlet, and it's not up as well.
For me, this is like a horse analogy, just because you keep moving back and back, and you've got to. So I'm leaning towards like thoroughbred FOP, thoroughbred first on puck.
And it kind of now it's continuous, right? It just keeps.
Yeah, until you score a goal. So like if blue in this scenario doesn't score and red gets possession, red then skates down here. Let's pull up my red then can skate with.
And I like race. I like racing title. That's a good call. The gauntlet race. That's cool. Yeah. I like that.
Now, if red gets control of the puck, they skate down here. They now make a pass to their teammates, and then they continue on. And now blue's got to try and get the puck back. And these battles, this goes on. It usually takes about a 60 second game. But we'll call it. Let's call it thoroughbred. Too many men. The mic feels like we just had the Kentucky Derby.
We did. I know. That's why maybe it's it's the horse thing.
Derby gauntlet race.
Sure.
How about we just call it the Derby?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Because you think about when these horses are neck and neck, they're bumping and they're obviously, if I was one of those jockeys, I'd be like, we'll call this the Derby. And this will be on our website, too-many-men-on-the-mic.com, the number 2, not spelled TWO, but too-many-men-on-the-mic.com. Not to be confused with our Instagram, which is Too Many Men Podcast, spelled TWO. Thanks, Instagram.
Right.
Well, this will be on our website as our drill draw. It's called the Derby. A lot of great things going on here. You've got the concept of first on puck battle, flank support, net front presence, and playing with pace. It's all about pace and compete. So, I mean, you're covering 7 key concepts in one drill, in one game.
Between the blue lines.
And the kids love it.
Yeah, the kids love
it. The Zamboni drivers don't love it, but the kids love it. So, well, Grant, give us an update. What's the score right now to the Minnesota-Colorado game?
We got 3-1 Avs.
They're so good. Let me guess who scored. Let me guess. Natchez.
Let me navigate over. Continue guessing.
Natchez has got a goal.
I'm going to say McCarr.
Landeskog.
The goal scorers are Kaprizov for the Wild.
Boldy have an assist.
The assist is not to Boldy. It's to Hartman.
He's another and Quinn Hughes.
Zuccarello.
Okay, Zucker.
Goals for the Avs.
Hang on, let me guess. 3 goals. I'm going to say Natchez, Taze, and Landeskog.
Nicholas Roy.
Oh, Nick
Natchez and Landeskog. So
did not look or watch. Don't care what you guys say. Didn't look or watch. For those of you at home, did not look or watch. So
you should place your bets.
Yeah, I should. It's a good thing I stopped betting a long time ago.
So, Grant, did you learn more about hockey?
I did. I liked the drills. I learned about each team remaining all 8. I liked it. This was good.
You know what? You can lay this lingo on your brother, on your family. Mother's Day is right around the corner. So you can say, when they say, well, what's going on with you, Grant? Tell us about what's going on in the hockey podcasting world. You can say it's all about net front, first on puck, and compete, flank,
getting zone entry, wide zone entry, F2 driving the net, which we saw. And what do you think about the film breakdown?
I liked them. I like getting the clips up. I felt like we found out a lot about each team.
Are you ready to get on the ice and put some of this in action?
I am ready. I've been wanting to.
All right, here we go. Well, you know what? Here's what I think you should do. We have a game tomorrow night that we're coaching at Webster Groves, 7:45 start time. Come to the game, get a feel for it, get closer to the ice. Heck, we'll even let them come on the bench. You know what I mean? Wear a helmet and get a little feel for it. You can actually, he can run this. He can run the clock.
Oh,
that sounds like free labor now.
Oh, man. Well, we've got a couple things going on here. For the St. Louis Rockets, folks, you've got your Friday landing party. We are going to be playing the Too Many Men on the Mic acoustic gig at Brentwood Park, starting live at 6 o'clock, going to whenever.
Let's see what that weather forecast
is. That's right. We have it covered.
We're
going to be covered.
Which is great.
What's our weather forecast like there?
Well, the weather.
Too Many Men meteorologist, Chuck Akery.
Exactly.
What was the guy's name from Anchorman?
76 degrees, 45% chance of rain.
Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. Yeah, well, come on out if you're a St. Louis Rockets or you're looking to become a St. Louis Rocket hockey player. Come on out to Brentwood Park, 6 o'clock for some great conversation, good company, great food, great beverages, and most importantly, some great music. Too Many Men.
Right.
Thanks everybody for showing up. Great show tonight, Grant. He shoots, he scores. Play the theme song.